he explained to us that this team know that it's all about staying positive and it's all about trying to just solidify and just play their game to the best of their ability. But that doesn't change the fact that, down to earth, they looked great yesterday. They surprised a lot of people, including myself, and I think that they might be able to upset.
Well, there's one thing that they are going to have to be very aware of, and that is the player that is off the ball right here. AlphaCap was brutal to his opponents yesterday. He's done much the same here. Even when the player was completely out of it, he's still hunted down for that demo.
Yeah, look at the channel points starting to pour in favor of XSET. Nice little delayed wager there in Twitch chat. You'll love to see it. But yeah, it really is all about Hoxer for XSET. I think AlphaCap played a really good series yesterday, and he made that one huge mistake to lose Game 3 for his team in overtime. But apart from that, he was playing phenomenally. That's a double commit. AlphaCap decides to go sideways with it. No shots on target. But yeah, Hoxer, on the other hand, he did not play a solid series. He had moments where he was causing problems for his team, moments where he's causing problems for the opponents. And so far today, it has, for him and for XSET, just been opponents he's causing issues for. AlphaCap off the bar with a double touch. He attacked that one with confidence. It's looking good so far for XSET.
Yeah, XSET, we can talk all about the weapons that they've got available to them. J-Pal, 5 goals across 2 games yesterday. And it was games 4 and 5, so we know that he's got the clutch factor. Here is Tool looking to try and set up Bambi!
Oh!
And he will do exactly that. Bambi maintaining his offensive hot streak.
Yeah, great little touch there from Tool. Hoxer not able to block that near post play, and that was also a great timing for the arrival of Bambi. Catch that one at full speed and also controls it. He used the underside of the card to just drop that one underneath the crossbar. Didn't want to power shoot that one too high. Nice little comeback there by D2E. And now a little bit of space again for Tool. He decided to go with the Dominus today. Surprisingly controlled look for a Dominus player up until now.
Have AlphaCap in the midfield to aim for. He has set himself up. I love that from AlphaCap. Realized going straight to net wasn't an option. He took an extra step and he gets the result, and that's a goal up.
Yeah, great touch, like you said. He actually had no boost there, and J-Bot had plenty. However, AlphaCap was able to read that bounce a lot more quickly than J-Bot was. It's one of those positions as the defender, you always think you have got more time than you actually do. You feel like the bounce is going to be quite awkward for the attacking player to read, but you see there from AlphaCap's perspective, he's just not going to miss that. He has all the time in the world, and J-Bot's just got to anticipate the early shot there, needs to make any touch.
Launch pass over to J-Bot. That's going to drop down very awkwardly. Hoxer in position at the right time. Needs a second touch after his defender gets annihilated from the game. Hoxer called off by AlphaCap. Over to J-Pal.
Oh.
There is some confidence right now for XSET. This is not what we got yesterday. They are leaving players downfield, and they're causing havoc for it.
Yeah, J-Pal now lingering on that back wall. He was actually there for a long, long time waiting for redirect opportunities. That's a lot of faith in the defense for XSET, which is, somewhat surprising if you just look at the results and if you just look at the gameplay from yesterday. But I'm, going to mention again that interview, the post-match interview from AlphaCap. The team's mentality is definitely in the right place, and they know that you can just have bad days. Sometimes, you've got the right idea and your team's good enough, but you don't put it together on the field. So it doesn't look like they've panicked a lot, despite not performing up to their usual standards yesterday. Great to see.
He's going to go over to Bambi. That touch will very easily gathered up by AlphaCap. Would have expected a bit more from himself. Would have liked at least a second hit before giving away possession. So far from XSET, this is the performance that will settle a lot of nerves. Not only for them, but for their fans. After yesterday, J-Pal pops the ball over. Will be chased down by AlphaCap yet again and taken away by J-Bot. Still waiting for the next big opportunity.
It's a smart play there by J-Bot. He knows coming in sideways like that, there's no point flipping into the ball. He might just create a 50-50 that bounces in a really awkward position for his team. So instead just goes for the car, takes it out of the game. It's just as effective as playing the ball, and there's no risk involved there. You're not generating power on the ball that wouldn't be available. Now here comes Hoxer. He's denied at the top corner by Tool. And that was an extremely necessary save by Tool. You just don't have enough chances coming in for D2E at the moment. They need to keep this game close. Maybe they can steal an equalizer late on in it.
J-Pal over to Hoxer. Just pinging the ball back and forth. XSET. Chance drops to them. They'll be very happy to take it, but with a 1-goal lead, this is all they've got to do. We'll see what D2E can do now. They're going to be pressed for time and pressed to try and get themselves a goal. J-Bot's touch will not help at all. Here is Hoxer. Sets it up to it. It's going to be J-Pow. Turns it in. 2-goal lead.
You got no chance from that range against J-Power. 43 seconds remaining. It is going to be 2 goals. Again, off the ball plays attempted from D2E. They're trying to make contact with J-Pow there before he takes off. It was probably the only chance that they had to save that. It's been all XSET in game 1. D2E not able to keep up, and they've been on the back foot for the majority of this game. Defended reasonably well, and XSET's quality is really showing up today.
It's one thing that has been somewhat frequent, Johnny, of when we get teams down here and they get these sort of possession plays that we have been seeing out from XSET. We've had a lot of teams that have struggled to find the shooting accuracy once they get there. That has not been an issue at all for XSET. Making the most of absolutely everything. AlphaKep destroys J-Bot. Oh, gonna go over to Hoxer. Wants to find the angle.
Oh,
Will he ever? Needed a monster save, but it's too little too late now. D2E now know what they are up against.
Yeah, the offense, always a threat for XSET. They've got the pressure off the ball, the accuracy with their shooting is absolutely on form today, and they are playing with confidence. They're not sitting back with multiple members anticipating whiffs and miss hits like we saw yesterday. So clearly, like I said already, yesterday's lackluster performances from them have not affected them coming into this. They know that they want to stay aggressive, especially against a team like D2E. You don't want to give D2E a lot of space. We saw yesterday that they can be a deadly team if you give them space to make plays in offense. But defensively, just a stunning performance from XSET compared to yesterday's first round match against SUP, where they were miss-hitting every ball. They were double committing all the time, and they couldn't really do anything right in offense. Own goals as well. So this is the most important thing really to see. Yes, they look great in offense, but they also looked completely untouchable in defense. You know, we had one great goal there by Down to Earth, but unless D2E are going to make huge plays like that, XSET look capable.
And one thing that we have not yet to see from Down to Earth is that delayed rotation that they implemented yesterday. They tended to leave Bambi downfield. See if they could get either the pass over to him, or if they were stuck on their own goal line, use him to demo the third man. AlphaKep, he's not messing around here, is he?
Like I said yesterday, he's just a no-nonsense player, and that's just another example of it. AlphaKep sees an opening and sends the ball into the net without it bouncing. No third man back for D2E. That's a bit of a disappointing outcome. You know, it's immediately after a kickoff. Everybody's trying to get into position in the right place in the rotation. But whoever's third man back there just needs to keep an eye on the shot that could be coming in. And here's another one. J-Pow to the bottom corner. That one is safe, but it's into the corner from Hoxer for XSET. They just will not stop shooting on this D2E goal. And I mean, why should they? The accuracy is definitely there. That was slightly off target, but there is still threats coming after the fact every single time.
That was Hoxer's 10th shot of this series. He is not desperate for a chance is on net, is he? Got 1 goal to himself, so if they're going by shooting accuracy, won't really be too happy, but we don't go by that. We go by the amount of goals scored. Right now his team is up by 1, but almost didn't last. J-Bot. Good recovery. He might take this the whole way. Can he reset? He leaves it for a teammate, and it's in. D2E showing off their class.
What a touch. A little jump there from J-Bot to get some extra height, and Bambi's called him off it. They're actually all up for this because, you know, any one of them could be scoring that. It's so hard for the last man back to save any of the shots. Impossible to read what on earth is happening there when you've got 3 players up in the air. You don't know who's hitting it. But great play by J-Bot in the setup. Now here comes J-Pow. He's denied by Bambi, but surely AlphaKep's going to find a way through. No, he's denied as well, and actually a bit of a blockage from XSET on their own play. Don't want to see too many of those. It's a reminiscent sign from yesterday's misplays.
I think unless we get some sort of incredible double tap own goal, I'm not going to go fully into how yesterday was for them. Here is AlphaKep. Scored their first, wants to try and get a second. So to J-Pow. There'll always be that heart lingering in their minds about how I think both these teams will know that they can collapse on occasion. And whilst we have seen the mid-series progression from XSET look good as Tool, he doesn't mind these scraps at the back third, does he?
Yeah, he worked that really well. Faked the first challenge and almost managed to plow straight through the second one. Just a bit stronger of a 50-50, and he might have been through on goal there. You know, the playmaking ability for D2E is definitely there. The only difference between them and XSET, from what I can see, is the quality of shot power from XSET is a lot higher, but that's a bump on the net, and it's off target. It just needed to be on the other side of the post there for D2E. They've had chances, Shogun, again and again, but, you know, we've had one crossbar, we've had one post, and XSET's goalkeeping hasn't been tested too often.
It certainly has not. Can be going to play it around J-Pow, and he is demoed. And another one. Let's see if we can get ourselves a third anytime soon, or if the goal explosion is going to be the one that takes it place. It's Bambi! Wow. It's 2-1!
Well, I don't know what on earth is going on here for XSET. J-Pow had a full tank of boost in that play, and he just missed. And then Hoxer and AlphaKet both vacated the goal area to try and reach the ball before the shot came in. Neither got there. You know, it's nothing too crazy. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a worrying play in isolation, but based on what we saw yesterday from XSET, any defensive mistake like this has me worried. You know, this isn't something that they want to start falling back into.
It's now a game that they've got to start chasing. Goals were never an issue for them yesterday, and that's going to be good because they need one right now. Bambi to J-Bot for the net. And instead it's J-Pow that keeps it away. AlphaKet doing what AlphaKet does. He is very determined for these demos, isn't he? And it is something that at this sort of pace can be very useful because we're not going breakneck. We're not quickly switching over to the other side. As Tool is going to let them know how it feels.
Well, that is, you know, just fighting fire with fire. XSET, well known for the physical play, AlphaKet especially. He's the one who's been annihilated in his own net to open up the goal for Down to Earth to take a 3-1 lead. So, XSET playing a lot better today to start off the series, but Down to Earth have responded brilliantly here. XSET unable to establish that offensive pressure that they had in Game 1.
More upset as well because they're the ones that started off with the first goal. They looked like they had all the momentum they needed just to take it for another 5 minutes and put themselves up to match point. Instead, they're now chasing this one, but this game isn't over yet. If J-Bot can keep delivering saves like that one, it might very well be Down to Earth's game to take. Looking once again, far side Tool at least taps the ball on. It's over to J-Bot. That was going to be in. 3 goals up. Game over.
Yeah, lovely technique from J-Bot, generating plenty of power. But how about that pass from Tool? You know, you've just been chiseling away at
Tool
this
is the AlphaKet of this team.
Yeah,
like we spoke about this yesterday, how AlphaKet didn't really get much score credit. Tool has set up almost everything that we've seen D2E score.
Yeah, he's either been directly influencing the play with his assists, or he's been off the ball causing problems for XSET. And as long as he can keep this up, then it's going to be very difficult for XSET to read what exactly is going on. I feel like Dominus is always a car that's harder to read with their touches on the ball. But even off the ball, Tool is really sneaking around and causing problems.
Had to be a bit more obvious that time. Goal line save, or just in front of it. Couple of misses, double commit, but J-Pow's touch over to the corner. Too little, too late now for XSET. They have been reminded very much of their mortality when it comes to their position in not only this regional, but to get into the major. As Turtle mentioned earlier on, for both teams, this is must win. Bambi almost got the reset. What a goal that would have been if he somehow managed to string together what he required to turn that one into the net. As for Down to Earth, they changed an awful lot coming into this game, and they got the result for it.
Yeah, they've got the mechanical ability, clearly. Down to Earth are on par with XSET. I think yesterday, Down to Earth, they were giving away the possession enough that I thought XSET would have more of a mechanical advantage than they do. I think that's more to do with Down to Earth stepping up today than XSET not showing up. Because XSET, they look pretty good. You know, there was, I think, one really big defensive mistake for the second goal that D2E scored. But apart from that, D2E just started chipping away at them. We had the demo from Tool for the third goal. We had Tool's little knock-on pass to send J-Bot away on the counter-attack for the fourth goal. These are both plays that are very hard to read, very hard to prevent. But if anything, XSET just have to realize leaving one man alone at the back against D2E is not safe. It might have worked in game one, but D2E have really shown up in game two, shown them it's not a safe strategy. They have to be more careful.
Yeah, especially in a game at this pace. If this game was going quicker, I'd say leave one player back, you're completely fine. You're going to keep switching possession back and forth, but we really have not had that, and that has made the off-ball demos by both Alpha Cap and Tool so prevalent. One thing to note here is Bambi is through, and Bambi has scored.
Wow. Early on from the kickoff, and it's Alpha Cap being far too risky there. I don't know what he was thinking, not flipping into that one. If you commit to going into that challenge as the last man, you've got to try and get a better hit on it than that. Just easy dunk and an easy goal for D2E already.
Well, we spoke earlier on about J-Pow's goal-scoring prowess. Oh, wait, no, that's not the touch. Get rid of that one. Bambi is now up to 4 in his last 2 games, a hat-trick in the last one. Definitely has been the target man recently. That's going to be just about wide. Good composure there from the defenders just to let it bounce. Now, though, they've got to figure this out. Bambi takes the ball away from Tool. Clearly feels pretty confident to let Tool go for the demo. With the evidence that we have seen so far this series, that's not the worst thing to really look for as a strategy. Although, defensively, Down to Earth looked like they should have been in more trouble than they have been.
Yeah, that was, less down to earth, more just down to luck that nothing bad came from those 50-50s. They did not have backup on Tool's challenge. J-Bot has had a lot of faith in Tool, like you mentioned. They really do believe in this guy to just muscle his way through all these situations.
More demos. Tool wasn't that happy with that. And he's gone and got himself another one. Well, Bambi going to try and utilize some of that space. It's going to drop over to just a shot on target. This off-ball reading of the gameplay from Tool has been so good still. And, well, it was whilst he still had a car. Oh, wait a minute, Alpha Cap. He did not see the attacker there, and he almost drove himself out of position. Still managed to get there on time. Still Down to Earth in a great offensive position. Looking for their one opportunity. They are going to lose it. Half volley clear for J-Pow. Means that it's going to unleash their team. And now we start playing a bit ping pong. J-Bot! That's a target man. And that is a great goal.
What a pass by Tool as well. Off the back corner wall. Straight towards J-Bot, who is lingering in the midfield. That's some redirect as well. Top corner on an open net. Why not? 2-0. D2E are absolutely on peak form here. What a team that leveled up since the last time we saw them. Playing some great Rocket League. XSET don't look too shabby today, but they've got to show more respect to Down to Earth. They're absolutely a threat when it comes to offensive play.
Down to Earth did not look bad yesterday. They just look better today. That is something that will make them a team to watch. No matter the result here, the team that you've got to keep your eye on in future regionals. Wow. J-Bot, bottom corner. Down to Earth are running away with this.
You know, right now J-Bot is just sitting at a 5-star restaurant and he's got a couple of waiters bringing him delicious food every single course. He's just finishing these off, having a phenomenal time, but full credit to Tool and then to Bambi for 2 of the best assists we're going to see all day.
Panic time for XSET. It'll be against 2 match points if they can't turn this around, and instead, it's got further away from them. Bambi up to a brace, 5 from his last 2.
Oh dear.
Down to Earth are smashing XSET.
I don't know why XSET are just grouping up together here. They're making it so much more easy for Down to Earth to put the ball past their entire team. If they all just group up like this, all it takes is a bad challenge, a bad 50-50, or one heavy touch, and they're all out the game. Everybody. They need to spread out more. And yeah, they're down by 3 goals there in the lead up to that 4th. But look how much time's left. You can get 3 goals. You're definitely going to get 3 good chances if they continue playing at their normal pace. In over 2 minutes, I think it was half the game. 3 goals, half the game, that's not a problem. They've just got to calm down here. But there's already one of them. It's bounced in for Hawkser. I think there was a goalkeeper close to it, but unable to get there.
have a look at this. Oh, it's just a hard read. Ox a bit fortunate with the bounce.
Oh, I think Tool fell off the back wall. I'm pretty sure Tool tripped on the goalpost there because he was just flopping around in the goal when the shot came in. He really should have had that. That's a complete let off there. A gift for XSET.
J-Bot reset. Goes for the ground pinch. We'll talk about confidence. He's going to be full of it at the moment. Here's Tool again in that corner, where he will not leave until he has got control of the ball. Tool yet again. Going to go for his own reset. Hoxer will clear. It's a bit of a hopeful jump there by Bambi. One more goal, and this turns into a real game. Oh! It's off the post, and it's in. And a real game is what we have.
So a couple of defensive mistakes now for D2E. Letting XSET back into this. It's a nice dunk by J-Pow, but really, Tool should be able to clear that ball. Just like for the previous goal, he should have had the save, but he tripped on the goalpost on his way in. Now that clear was just completely uncontested. He could have knocked that into the corner he was facing, straight above his head. No problems for D2E. Now they've got problems. Almost a third goal going in.
What's the phrase? Crisis management. It's turning into one here. They've got to stem the bleeding nice and quick. As for XSET, they can't afford to get too excited. Another goal against them ruins all of their positive momentum. Tool look to provide exactly that. Ends up missing it. It's three of them up. It's an awkward bounce. They're going to be turned around. D2E didn't want to commit too much to it. 50 seconds on the clock. Tool, again, off the ceiling. J-Pow is incredibly awkwardly positioned, but he has escaped. He's on the breakaway. He's got AlphaKep in support. Bambi able to get a touch. XSET needed delivery. They need it soon. They've got it. AlphaKep, he had to take the shot as quickly as possible, and it just did not deliver itself to an angle he could score from.
He's trying to just squeeze that one in off the near post, maybe a little bit of a pinch, or just trying to win a 50-50 against a wall, I suppose, but he timed it wrong, didn't roll with it enough to get it on the right side of the goalpost. And now time is really running out for XSET. Tool's got a good clear on this, and that should be it, Shogun. 4-2. It's been a messy game for XSET. This is a disappointing little streak for them. Forbidden Temple has not been kind, and they trail. They're on the cusp of being eliminated.
And it's another XSET series that the momentum keeps swinging back and forth. They need to use those final two goals that they scored in that series as some way to propel themselves. You mentioned it earlier on, Johnny. Between games, they're talking to each other. They're trying to reset themselves mentally. They need it here. This is do or die for them at the moment, and they might lose again so much earlier than this team was expected to go out. This is a team that showed so much in the run into RLCSX. They showed so much during the full split, but the winter split looks like it could be another disappointment.
Yeah, a couple of great goals in the middle of this one for down to earth. J-Bot getting the score, getting the goal for both of them, but the whole team, you know, we had a flip reset assist from Bambi. We had an absolute smashing wall clear from Tool straight down the middle for J-Bot's redirect. And now Tool's in a bit of trouble here. He took a long way back to goal there. Quite lucky the shot wasn't any faster, to be honest. Down to earth have gotten away with it for now. Double commit lets J-Pow in on this play, and he's going to take his time. Fine Socks are waiting to the side, but that's going to go to the top left corner, but too far left and too high as well. For me, XSET just really have to show more respect to the hard clears, show more respect to the 50-50s, just keep their third man in a better position, a safer position throughout this entire game.
Let's see if they can do that. Infield pass, well intercepted there by J-Bot. I think they had the option for a power clear if they left it for Bambi. Either way, D2E multiple options to defend against that. Oh, Bambi and J-Pow both miss. It becomes a race. J-Pow stays around. He stepped up yesterday in games 4 and 5. They need it again from him here. Hoxer clears. AlphaKep tries to chase up. He's out of boost now. He's going to be out of the play. Hoxer unable to win the race to it. It's not the clear AlphaKep would want. It drops to Tool. He gets bounced into it. Almost blocks the ball in. Chaos in the blue side of the field, but luckily for XSET, it's not resulted in anything going against them.
Yeah, they did well there. Last man in the right position, goal side, and able to make a clutch save. Now, Tools under pressure. He made a few mistakes, a couple of mistakes rather, at the end of game 3 to give XSET the start of their comeback.
That's all 3.
No mistakes so far.
Just get a little worried that they might go chasing after some of these plays. Commit that third man when they're just not quite needed, that the chance isn't quite there for them. This time around, they choose to play a bit more defensively. It's a pass over to J-Pal off the backboard. Now they can commit the third because Hoxer has got an open net.
Fantastic vision here from Alpha Kep, and he doesn't hold back with the power on that pass as well. Just fires it across to J-Pao, and the entire defense is ripped apart by that one. Yeah, you know, regardless of whether or not the shot goes on target from Hoxer, it will, or from J-Pao, sorry. Hoxer's got the rebound angle covered, so great stuff. Full team passing play from XSET.
Gone up yet again, ended up dropping it, and dropping it massively in the last game. Can't afford for it to happen yet again. Hoxer just blastable straight into Alpha Cap. That defensive rotation hasn't sorted itself out. Finally might do so. J-Pal wanting an infield pass that wasn't available, but guess who is available? His name's Hoxer, and he's got 2.
Nice read here by Hoxer. I love that he's approaching this ball from the far post end. That means he can attack it that much earlier, and that's just perfect technique with the air roll and the setup. Generates a ton of power on the shot. No chance for the defenders to react to it. 2-0. A more safe performance from XSET, but their offense is still able to produce the goods, regardless of the fact that they're sitting a bit further back in their half. Now, that's a shot on net, but it's into the bar. It's from Bambi. D2E really limited for options when XSET sit deeper like this.
That's a position they're allowed to start settling into as well. 2 goals up. D2E are the ones that need to start asking the questions here. And the answer, Tool is not missing it like that. Forces both of his teammates in to try and cover for him. Could have been much worse. 2 minutes left, and we're still yet to see D2E get a good shot on net. Bambi wants a second touch. He's not going to get it. And Tool too far forward. D2E really can't get these consecutive touches in a row here. It has been constantly taken away. Hoxer wants the double tap, instead leaves it for Alpha Kep. And what was supposed to be a nervy game 4 is looking very comfortable.
Fantastic recovery by Hoxer. Immediately fires the ball into the backboard, which was naked, undefended. And it's a much harder read for the defense to jump up, predict where that ball's bouncing blindly above them when the attacking player has full vision. So great stuff there by Hoxer. He's got a couple of goals and now an assist to his name, and he's looking for the hat trick here. Not powerful enough, but it will be from J-Bot. But oh, just save. Might not be over just yet. Still, you know, very dominant scoreline for XSET, but Tool's got a chance to try and close the gap. Doesn't get past J-Pack.
This has certainly not been the domination that the fan predictions and us on the desk might have led you to believe. This has been all about survival. That's exactly what this tournament is all about. Can you scrap your way through when it's at its toughest? Another shot from J-Pal. The only one on his team that hasn't got a goal, despite the fact that he's got 7 shots to his name. Oh. Well, Bambi was more of a target there for J-Pal than an actual threat, and he still somehow managed to hit him. That is pretty much time up if we are going to see the D2E team make a comeback here. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. They're now also in the firing line. Champions Field for the second time on our very first game of the day. For both these teams, it becomes less about what has happened up to this point and more how do you deal with the pressure of having your tournament lives on the line.
Yeah, XSET have done well here. They've played a much safer game. They're not getting caught out by these hard clears. They're not getting caught out on the wrong side of the ball immediately after kickoffs go into their half. And that's really all there is to say about this game. Outside of a D2E solo play here or there, XSET do have a lot more consistency with their touches. They're hitting the ball harder. They're beating down to earth to the plays, just playing that little bit quicker in general. And as long as they don't get too excited, as long as they can just stay calm and keep their third man as safely positioned as possible, not even just the third man, as long as they can just bring that entire defensive line a little bit further back, like they did in this fourth game, they've got the tools to beat down to earth. I mean, down to earth got a tool of their own here. He's showing up big today, but as long as they keep him in defense, he doesn't look anywhere near as threatening.
I think for me, XSET's big key to victory here is making sure those hits in the midfield are nice and strong, because whenever D2E have had a chance to get power clears, they are hitting them. The last game, they didn't get many at all, and that led to them being stuck in their own line. Here we go then, Game 5, tournament lives on the line. As Tol mentioned earlier, you lose this, not only are you out of this regional, but you can kiss your chance of making the major goodbye. Alpha wants to try and chase up, doesn't have the boost for it. Now his team is under a little bit of pressure. Alpha wants to go for the double tap. He's got the read, and he's got the goal.
Huge plays from XSET already. Hoxer off his own back wall. Gave Alpha options there. Alpha could shoot that ball directly or go to the backboard. And Alpha of course, plays for the trickier, harder to read option, backboard to himself. And he was never going to miss that. Just a perfect first touch. Easy to follow up for a player of his level.
He's the other player we want to watch out for. Tol hasn't been able to play his style over the past few games. He's going to need it here. His team's already one down. Bambi tries to find a block of some sort. Tol keeps at least the ball in the final third. Dropping it down. J-Bot tries to outpace Hoxer. Not going to happen. Now double commit. Tol can turn for this, and if they can find the pass, there's got a chance, but Alpha gets that car big enough. Doesn't allow the first time touch to come through. Good response, though, so far from D2E. They have not been locked down into their own side of the field. Looking much more like a style of game that they can actually come back to win from. Well, they might need better touches than that in the future, though.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. Tool really needs to start making better touches in defense. And he really didn't need to play the risky option with that one. It looked like he's trying to chip it straight forward into the sidewall, maybe. But it's gone right out into the middle, and there's just no control of the situation. Putting D2E in a really rough spot here. Defensively, he's been a bit of a liability in the past few games. Really wonderful offensively for his team. But with so many safe options that he could have played there, I just wonder what on earth he was thinking, making a really, really precise and awkward touch.
Must be the pressure of the situation getting to him. Any other game, you look at it, you think, we've got 3.5 minutes left. It's plenty of time. You see Champions Field just changes a little bit. Becomes a little bit more urgent. Tol making a big mistake, and his team is now just further away. It's an XSET that have found their rhythm in the last few games. J-Pal takes it away from J-Bot. Hoxer passing option down the other side of the field. XSET look very well-rounded here. With defensive options, they've got people to clear to. They've got Hoxer, who is just fighting on challenges. Didn't get the best touch from it, though, off the backboard. J-Pal smartly gets it to the corner and takes it away from danger. Hoxer again taking the touch. See the adaptation here from XSET. They've gone from hard clears to make sure we take the touch, see if we can outplay or at least waste some time off the clock with a little bit of solo brilliance. And it's working so far.
It's like you mentioned, D2E just haven't got a reliable way to clear the ball. They are never getting the ball in a position that's awkward for XSET's third man, and that's all credit to XSET on that. They've repositioned, they've stopped pressing up as aggressively as they did in games 2 and 3. D2E are not really capable to surprise XSET with their passes and any hits that would be hard enough to go through the defense. XSET have got all angles covered. They lead by 2. D2E have got to try something special here. They've got the ability, but they're running out of time. And now Hoxer's missed the target. The entire team's out of the game. XSET briefly given a chance to D2E there, but it's gone away. Recoveries are coming.
Yeah, Hoxer didn't get the goal explosion he was after, so he decided to make a pseudo one out of the car. I'm going to get over to Alpha off the backboard. Hoxer decides to back down, and there's a reason for it. J-Bot waiting on the other side of the field. But nothing to lose at this point. Might as well take some risks with their offensive positioning. Tool does get hit. J-Pal looks for the setup. Is it free? Alpha Kep, hat-trick hero.
Yeah, great read. Alpha Kep starts off the attack with an interception on an infield pass, and then makes himself an option in the back post. J-Pal chips it over the goalkeeper, and it's wide open for 3-0. That's just great defense at one end of the field, and then the offensive option from Alpha Kep. Perfect delivery by J-Pal. D2E, they're feeling the pressure there. They have to extend a little bit more aggressively, or else they feel like a goal is just not going to happen for them in Game 5. This is why XSET, I think should have had a better matchup than they have. They looked just as comfortable as this in Game 1. They're doing it all over again. When they just play calmly, when they play defensively as solid as possible, I don't think that D2E have got any reliable way through. Never mind.
Maybe. Maybe. Well, will it be one of those moments that's clipped and said, well, this was moments before disaster? We're going to find out very soon. 52 seconds to try and find 2 goals. D2E very much settled into the final plan that they've got, which is just keep on striking the ball across the field. See if we've got someone to pass it to. Tool just going to keep the one out of his own net. Good flick, but is it too heavy for his teammate? J-Pop sees J-Pal, and that definitely didn't look too comfortable. The backboard one more time. One more goal would do it. It's desperation o'clock now. Bambi, he's through. He's got his chance. And it's a save from Hoxer. We stay at a 2-goal lead. Hoxer, after everything that was said yesterday, stepping up huge. His team still got their lead. We see J-Bot going flying past the ball. Bambi just has to go for a desperation move, but it's not going to work. It looks like it's too little too late now. Tool won't get there in time. And XSET, despite having to really fight for it, move through to the next round.
A respectable performance from D2E overall. This is a great level up for them. Out in round 1 of the lower bracket, but still putting up some tough performances against, some of the higher quality opposition in these round 1s. Yesterday, doing really well against Jamal Jabari, who are, the up-and-coming team right now. Today, beating XSET, who were expected to have a far better season than they've had up until now, but there's still signs of brilliance from that XSET lineup, and at moments here, they look incredibly solid, while also remaining threatening in offense. So that's, what XSET need to try and do, is just solidify, try to be a more consistently good, because they can do it. They've got a high level available to them. They're just so wildly inconsistent.
Now we're going to have to see what version of them we get later on today, because they are going to have to win one more to progress to next week and get themselves that much closer to a major spot. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to see who XSET are going to be playing in the next round as 72 PC take on Kansas City Pioneers.